Hey everyone, welcome to Lazy Cat Reactions. If you are new here, welcome. I really hope that you enjoy this react, and I hope you will stick around for other reacts and check out my other shows and movies that I have done so far. If you are one of my subscribers, thank you for joining me. I know that this one may not necessarily be everyone's forte, but it is what it is. Obviously, not everyone enjoys everything that people do. So, this is the second episode of Chucky, the new sci fi show. The first one that I reacted to was all right. There really wasn't a whole lot that I had to say about it, basically, because I'm still processing and digesting everything I saw. I do know that supposedly the cat was killed, but we didn't see it, so I'm going with the assumption that the cat got away. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And we did see the death of Jake's father through electrocution. And it sounds like Chucky is aiming his sights on Lexi, his cousin's girlfriend. What we know so far, of course, is that Jake is being bullied, and they threw up a little notice about bullying there on the show. And they said it was through GLAAD, and of course, GLAAD is like the Gay Alliance, I think. Gay Alliance for what? I'm sorry, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but it was through GLAAD. And so it makes me wonder if Jake is being bullied because he's gay, or if it's just he's being bullied because they think he's weird and whatnot. So maybe we'll find out more on that. But again, it shouldn't matter whether he's gay, straight, bi, whatever. He shouldn't be bullied, especially for that. So I am glad to see Brad Dourif is back as the voice of Chucky. In the first react, I talked about how really no one can top him for the voice, and that is true. Brad Dourif had a career, of course, before Chucky, but I think that kind of catapulted him. It's kind of like with some of the other films you see, like I was commenting about on a post on Facebook. Someone said, who could you never see playing another role who just nailed a role that no one else could ever top him? And I said Donald Pleasance in Halloween, which is true. And I know, of course, Rob Zombie made a version of Halloween, and he had Malcolm McDowell playing Loomis. And Malcolm McDowell was fine, but of course he's no Donald Pleasance. And I think in pretty much everyone's opinion, no one is going to be able to replace Donald Pleasance. He was Loomis. He's beloved. And that's how it is. So it's the same thing here with Chucky, is no one is really going to be able to top Brad Dourif. Now, I heard the movie remake that they did, I think in 2019, I heard that the voice was played by Mark Hamill. So that would make me a little interested in seeing it because it was Mark Hamill. But at the same time, I think it turned a lot of people off because, once again, it wasn't Brad Dourif. Even though Mark Hamill is a good actor and has done a lot of voiceover work, I still think it kind of turned people off a bit because it wasn't Brad Dourif. Anyways, let's get going with the second episode. I'm glad you're here with me. I hope you are excited to watch it as I am. Let's get started. So, first 12 minutes into the second episode, and already a death. Like I said, the housekeeper, it's like, why? She doesn't have anything to do. Maybe it's because she sprayed him in the face. But at the same time, it's also like, she has nothing to do with it. She's a complete innocent. Go after the ones that are bullying Jake. Don't go after the innocent housekeeper. I was thinking to myself, I know they mentioned about him being out of school because he was suspended, but I was wondering, I would think he would have had to go back to his house because, they of course would have to go and clean everything out and probably look at selling the house. And I know he had a bag with him, but there would still be probably other stuff of his that he would want to go get. So it's probably one of those things that even though they don't talk about it, it's implied that he would probably return the house a couple of times to get more stuff and everything. But like I said, the family would have to do it anyways because they'd have to go through and see, if there's anything they're going to keep, what they're going to have to get rid of, what they're going to have to sell, donate, etc. So, and of course we've seen Lexi being her usual Lexi self. I do like how he likes Devin, I liked how when they were walking and Devin was talking and he was just kind of looking at him, and that was very sweet. We saw that a lot with Dean, with Castiel in Supernatural, just the way he looked at him. You could tell that, he was longing for him. So it was nice to see. Let's continue. So I kind of believe Chucky when he says he didn't kill the housekeeper. Because we didn't actually see him push her or anything. Which makes me think it's Tiffany. Doll form Tiffany. Because we have seen Jennifer Tilly. So we know she shows up. Or is it Meg Tilly? I think it's Jennifer. Or maybe it's Meg. We'll find out. So we know Tiffany shows up. We don't know if Tiffany is in doll form yet, but that could have been a little clue. So part of me thinks, yeah, he's lying. Another part of me thinks it's Tiffany, that Tiffany has shown up and she's just making herself invisible for right now, even to Chucky. Kids all stay away from Lexi, and I'm thinking to myself, you do realize he's gay. So it's not like he'd be going after her romantically or anything. Let's keep going. Dun, dun. So, yeah. Obviously, anyone who's a fan of Halloween would have caught the Dr. Mixter reference. And it was just so subtle, it was blah, 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 Dr. Mixter. So it would be interesting to know how many people did actually catch it. I'll have to check other reactors to see if they did. Like I said, I think USA and Sci-Fi are owned by NBC, and Peacock, of course, is NBC's streaming service, which of course makes sense as they've been showing ads for Halloween Kills. So they're all obviously owned together. But in a way, though, it is kind of surprising that they're able to get away with making references to Halloween because they're owned by different studios and stuff. But you never know. People always talk, and since Peacock did have the rights to Halloween Kills, maybe they have other rights. I don't know. I said this in my previous video, but in case you missed it or something, my reaction to the Halloween Kills trailer is available on the channel, so please go check that out. It's funny how he's like, shit, Chucky's gone, because he knows that Chucky's going to wreak some havoc. Let's continue. So Carolyn finally got to meet Chucky like she wanted to. So I mentioned the reference about the housekeeper, which then makes me wonder if, yeah, he was lying. But then he also mentioned the babysitter, and I don't know if there's a babysitter there that we see, or if he was just meaning that in general. So it could have just been a general reference. I'm hoping with the 7 Minutes in Hell that Jake and Devin get it on. Like I said, with these kids, they seem a little too mature to be 14. But again, I'm not 14. I don't know what goes on in middle school. Maybe kids really are like that. But it just seems for me, it just seems like it's a little too mature for them. But let's continue. So just because Jake took the knife doesn't mean he's going to do anything. He might be taking the knife and then stashing it so Chucky can't get a hold of it. One thing I noticed with the Halloween costumes, with the exception of the Hello Kitty mask, which I'm sure that they had to pay money for the copyright, you'll notice in a lot of these shows and stuff, when they do Halloween, kids are dressed as kind of nondescript costumes. Like you'll have a witch, a ghost, a skeleton, a princess, whatever. But they're not specific, you know. Like when you see a kid come to trick or treat in real life, you might have a little girl dressed as Belle, or maybe like a little boy dressed as Michael Myers or Chucky or something. You know, the licensed product, but they can't really do that on TV because of licensing and copyright. But of course, you know, a witch, just a plain witch, isn't licensed, isn't copyrighted. So you can do that. Or again, like a skeleton or a ghost. So it was kind of funny to see those costumes again. Like I said, with the exception of the Hello Kitty mask. So they obviously, and they did say Hello Kitty. I was thinking with the difference in the eyes that maybe it was supposed to be, maybe it was different enough that it wouldn't be Hello Kitty. But since they actually did say Hello Kitty, then obviously they're throwing some attention to Hello Kitty. So obviously they've paid for the rights to use that. So, yeah, it seems a little fantastical when Junior and Devin were coming down the stairs that they didn't see Chucky raise the knife and then like drop into being a doll. Maybe they didn't, but it just seems like they wouldn't. And I am glad to see that Junior didn't find it funny either. You know, while Jake was upset, obviously Devin didn't find it funny. And they showed Junior, and Junior didn't find it funny either because that was his uncle. And it's very shitty of her to do that, knowing that that was her boyfriend's uncle. You know, it just obviously goes to show that Lexi doesn't care. So the Halloween party, though, seemed like it was pretty fun. And of course, Chucky repeated the whole apple with the razor blade incident. That's also kind of a reference to Halloween 2. If you remember, for those who have seen it, they show up, a mother and her son show up at the hospital because he cut his tongue on a razor blade. And you know, they talked like with the creators and they basically said that had nothing to do with Michael. Michael didn't do that. Basically what they were implying, and rightly so, is that there are other bad guys and other villains out there besides Michael. You know, not everything is related to Michael. And I think that was going to kind of be related because they were originally going to be doing an anthology with Halloween. And so I think maybe they were trying to kind of prep for that a little bit. But that is correct. You know, there are other bad guys out there besides just Michael. And so that's kind of what that was implying. Because, yeah, I think if you first see that, you would wonder, like, did he do that? So in a way, it was kind of like a throwback to it, except she wasn't in a hospital. But it was, of course, an apple with a razor blade, which is an old, I don't want to say wives' tale because I'm sure it does happen, but, you know, an old thing that we've seen with Halloween, that if you're given an apple, check it for razor blades. So, second episode is done. If you enjoyed this react, please leave a like on this and hit the subscribe button for more content. It looks like I do have a couple more episodes recorded, but I'm probably going to go ahead and do those at a later date because I've got more reacting to things that I have to do. You are welcome, as always, to follow me on Instagram at Lazy Cat Reactions. The name should be above. And also on my TikTok as well, where I post clips of reacts that I have done. Love to see you follow me on both of those. Instagram, I post clips and also, other information regarding reacting and stuff like that. I hope you will stick around for the rest of the Chucky reacts and check out some of my other videos. I will see you next time. Bye.